children behind the latest armed carjacking in the district. The investigation underway right now.
Have hackers gotten a hold of DC's voter data? The Board of Elections now doing damage control.
Hi everyone, rain showers back in the forecast, but what's your pick day of the weekend? Details in a moment.
And they say their hard work is undervalued.
We put everything on the line.
Now, thousands of janitors in our area are threatening to walk off the job.
Thanks for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. Begin tonight with breaking news out of Prince George's County. Police are investigating a deadly shooting near Oxonell High School and forced tonight's football game against High Point to be postponed.
Yeah, so here's a live look at the scene. Officers arrived to Haven Avenue and Wentworth Drive just before 6 tonight. When they got there, they found a man inside a car with multiple gunshot wounds. One resident describes what she heard.
All I heard was gunshots, and that was like 2 hours after school. And once my mom got home, she said she saw someone on the ground, and there's police everywhere.
As you see right there, still a very active scene at this hour. Now we're learning that the victim died at the scene. Police say no arrests have been made. And breaking news in the district right now, DC police say a group of kids carried out an armed carjacking in Adams Morgan.
And it happened right near the National Zoo and just blocks away from 18th Street. Details at this hour still limited, but here is what we know. The carjacking happened around 6:30 tonight at Adams Mill Road and Ontario Road. When we arrived on scene, police were talking to the victims who did not speak English. Again, we're told this carjacking was carried out by several kids. As far as we know, police are still actively searching for those kids. We'll be sure to update you as this story develops.
And developing now at 9, the D.C. Board of Elections website has been hacked, exposing 600,000 lines of data, including D.C. voter records. Our Daniel Hamburg talked with a cybersecurity expert about what this means for voters. And Daniel, a lot of this is actually public record.
This means it's no comfort for those people who potentially had their information stolen. But the Board of Elections says its website was the only thing that was hacked, and its internal servers and servers were not compromised. According to the D.C. Board of Elections, officials learned on Thursday that a hacking group known as Ransom VC claimed to have breached its records, accessing 600,000 lines of U.S. voter data, including D.C. voter records.
It's really surprising, and I would hope that all of this is well protected, and it's not. The Board of Elections says voter records were accessed through a breach of its website hosting provider, and that no internal databases or servers were compromised. I think it's just kind of a bummer to hear that the DC local government doesn't have the best security. And it's a shame that these things have to happen for them to now start probably prioritizing and trying to do better. Some voter registration data, such as voter names, addresses, voting records, and party affiliation, is public information when requested, but
if you have that, you're well down the road of being able to commit financial fraud against consumers.
According to the news outlet Cyberscoop, someone offered to sell the data in an online forum on Tuesday, which included the last 4 digits of voter social security numbers and driver's license numbers. Cybersecurity expert Shane Sims recommends changing your passwords online, including email and social media accounts.
Protect your information, assume that it's out there and people are trying to commit fraud.
Now, the Board of Elections did take down its website when they learned of this hack. They're now working with data security partners, including the FBI and Homeland Security. We're live in Northwest. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you. And 5 years after her murder, a D.C. judge has sentenced 2 of the 6 men convicted in the deadly shooting of 10-year-old Makayla Wilson. Isaiah Murchison will spend 60 years in prison. Markel Cobbs will spend 6 years behind bars and 3 years on supervised release. Both are members of the gang Wellington Park crew. And on July 16th of 2018, Makayla Wilson was sitting on the front stoop of her home when a group fired more than 50 shots into the courtyard of Clay Terrace. Wilson died. Several others were injured. The 4 other defendants will be sentenced later this month.
A University of Maryland student's quick thinking thwarts off a group of carjackers. Still shaken up, Jamira Franklin is talking to DC News Now a day after that scary situation. It unfolded at the Regions parking garage on the College Park campus. Franklin says she was grabbing her lab coat from her trunk when a car pulled up. Franklin says 3 men jumped out and then demanded her keys and phone. To defend herself, she says she threw them out of the garage onto the sidewalk, then ran.
I think college is supposed to be a place for students just to come and feel safe to continue their education. So now I just don't feel safe to come back. Very traumatized. I'm definitely grateful to still be alive, still, have my car and I'm unharmed. So I'm most grateful for that. But I definitely think there needs to be changes on campus.
Yeah, pretty terrifying there. Franklin says the group drove off without her belongings. They were last seen driving on Baltimore Avenue. We'll hear more from Franklin coming up at 9:30. All right, the weekend just about here. Big changes are coming, so let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb.
Yeah, Janessa, it's going to really start feeling like fall this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to transition fairly quickly. I think this week we've been really spoiled by some great weather across the DMV, and now we're awaiting the arrival of this frontal passage. It's called a cold front, and that's why you're seeing kind of the influence of some rainy conditions right now. Kaiser and Cumberland. You guys have been dealing with it for the last couple of hours, and it is really solely confined across that region. Really, the rest of the DMV, we are nice and quiet under mostly cloudy conditions. Here's that line of showers and a few storms that we are tracking associated with this cold front. It's not super impressive in nature, and really, we're only going to see one good bout of rain, and it happens tomorrow morning, and then a lot of sunshine is behind this cold front. Temperatures right now, they haven't cooled off much because we're waiting for it to slide across the region. This bad boy is going to take its time. It is slowly going across the region into areas of West Virginia right now. 74 for the district, into the lower 60s, upper 60s from Woodstock into locations west of I-81. So after midnight, that's when I think a good chunk of this rain starts to move in. And then really 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, it starts in northern Virginia, and then it will make its way up towards the DC metro area. That's one component to this cold front. You have some of the coldest air of the fall season about to impact the DMV. I'll show you exact locations where we could see temperatures in the middle 30s coming up.
Nessa, thank you. So speaking of which, a chance of rain tomorrow morning has Bowie State University calling off its homecoming parade. The parade was supposed to kick off at 8 o'clock in the morning with marching bands, floats, and Tony Award winner Miles Frost as Grand Marshal. Bowie State says the football game and other activities will still go on as scheduled. And happening tomorrow, rain or shine, Open Streets DC kicks off.
That's right. The 10th annual event is meant to promote walking and bicycling and is also great for local small businesses. This map here shows where streets will be closed off, so take note of this if you're driving into the area tomorrow. That event stretches along Georgia Avenue Northwest from Missouri Avenue to Berry Place. Open Streets is sponsored by DDOT. Officials say there will be a raffle for people to win free bicycles, as well as a bike giveaway for people in need.
We feel like getting the bikes in the hands of folks will help them really explore and appreciate the fact that they can do it without a car. So the bike giveaway for folks, especially who don't necessarily have access to a bike, is a big deal.
So if you already have a bike, you can bring it to Open Streets. Roller skates and scooters will also be allowed on the route. The event starts at 9 a.m. It ends at 3 p.m.
And developing now at 9, Maryland has recorded its first ever death from a rare tick-borne illness. It's called Powassan. According to state health department officials, the patient contracted the virus after traveling to Canada. Health officials did not disclose where in Maryland the patient lived. That illness is not believed to pose a threat in the state at this time.
And dozens of janitors at office buildings all across the DMV took to the streets to spread the urgency of their cause.
Yeah, they say they're not paid enough for the work they do and also the risks they've taken.
Yeah, tonight they're sharing their plea for higher wages with our Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcilla, who also has an update on the status of negotiations as a potential strike is just days away.
They're walking down the street just over a week before they could walk off the job.
We want the public to know that these people exist.
These are the folks who clean offices every night, and they say their work is undervalued, their safety underemphasized, and their paychecks underwhelming.
We put everything on the line.
Spreading that message by first rallying then marching on the streets of Roslyn past several high-rise office buildings, stopping at some of the ones these workers keep clean.
The negotiations are still going on, but these cleaners say if they don't get a deal that they feel is fair, including higher wages to adjust for inflation, they'll walk off the job.
They make $15 an hour in an area where it's so expensive to live. Most of these workers work 2 and 3 jobs to sustain their families. That's just inhumane in the United States of America.
For Tomasa Amaya, that means living paycheck to paycheck.
Y a veces no alcanza.
And sometimes she says that's not enough.
Para poder estar cuidando nuestras familias.
She told her story to an audience of cleaners, union leaders, and politicians. She cleans at Kaiser Permanente and slept in her car during the pandemic so she wouldn't bring illnesses home to her family.
They are the backbone of this economy, and I just wanted to come and show my voice and show my support.
As for the negotiations, a person with the Washington Service Contractors Association tells DC News Now they are still quite a ways away in wages, but they have had a few productive sessions, and they are confident, hopeful, and cautiously optimistic an agreement will be reached before the deadline of the 15th. Reporting in Roslyn, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Meanwhile, the largest healthcare strike in U.S. history is coming to an end with no deal in sight. Thousands of Kaiser Permanente workers, including hundreds from D.C. and Virginia, joined the picket line for the third day today. That strike officially ends Saturday morning, and at that point, workers are scheduled to return to their jobs. The unions representing Kaiser employees are trying to sort out a deal with the industry giant that leads to higher wages and more staffing.
I'm out here because we were offered a 3%, 2% raise for the next 4 months, and cost of living went up, and we can't afford that.
Union officials and Kaiser representatives say they both want an agreement. However, the two sides do not have any more bargaining sessions scheduled.